They
the
must
same
just be grinding it, right? Like they're probably just grinding it all day. It's summer, right? These kids are like, there's nothing to do.
See, if it's a kid, I would feel better, but there's just some part of me that feels like it's a fedora, like 30-year-old, just sitting there having the time of his life. Like
If
it's more of my concern is like little kids trying to have some fun, and these adults just like smoking them.
yeah,
Just like
back in my day, I used to play Pokemon. Now I'm gonna show you.
yeah. The best part is that when they were a kid, they probably hated the gym masters. It's like, oh, these guys are evil. Like,
Yeah,
man, I'm just trying to do it, and they have become gym
yeah.
masters. They are the
Full
evil.
circle now. Yeah,
That's what the game is. It's just Poke kids that turn into Poke adults, hate the world, and then beat
yeah,
Poke kids at their game.
yeah. Oh, and yeah, but again, it's addictive. And like, I saw pictures of the CN Tower launch party in Toronto.
Yeah,
It
that's
was nuts. It was crazy.
yeah, that was so wild. Save some of that. We'll get into that. I think we literally could just like probably rant about Pokemon Go, and it's like
Yeah.
it is gaming right now. Like it is the only thing happening in gaming, so it's fine. It's topical. And
Yeah.
Gavin's not around to spoil our fun, so it's
Ah.
perfect. The adult beverages are poured, the kids are asleep. It is time for New Dad Gaming, a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives. My name is Trevor, and I have a 1-year-old.
I'm sick.
You should have stopped. Good. I'm sick.
Yeah. I'm sick. I'm Jeff. I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old that probably infected me.
That is the reason.
Yeah.
And more to the point, we're recording this a day later than we usually do because my household is sick. Baby came home with what we think is like this might turn into a fever.
Yeah.
My wife proved it was definitely going to be a fever by getting the hell of a fever herself, and then baby woke up sick the next day too. So it's bad enough when the kid, if they go to daycare or school, guaranteed every 3 weeks they're going to be sick.
Yeah.
It's bad though when it evolves and it attacks the adults. It's just that's cruel. That's not fair.
And it hits harder, right? Like your recovery time is not the same as when you were a young lad. You were just down for the count and
You're
just don't want to do anything.
yeah, you are not that elastic. Like it hurts you so much more.
Yeah.
And you're already like relatively sleep deprived, guaranteed. So,
Yeah.
and what's the kid's responsibility? What's he gonna miss?
Just go to sleep, lie there, rest. But no, when they get sick, they want to do things. It's not. It's my kids will just start to run around. They might be delirious. Maybe that's it. They're just so feverish that
You're
they've
giving him the
lost
good
all.
meds.
Yeah, they've lost all grip on reality, and they're running around. But
Oh man, no jeez, just so sick. The
it must be airborne though, because you gave it to me. There's weird. I don't know. You sent it through some
it's like
sort of.
what are we like a good hour and a half drive from one
Yeah,
another? So
yeah.
it's well, I'm
Like I'm like,
sorry.
oh, that sucks. You guys are all sick. That sucks in the summer. Oh God, now I'm sick. Like, it's karma. Karma did it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, once that Tylenol kicks in, though, you're right. Like it's as if they're not sick, but you are
Yeah.
super sick because of them. Just, I assume I'm gonna get sick now. Like it's the
Yeah,
only,
it's just a matter of time. You should have a timer, like a countdown clock.
like I should have a really great time tonight because like this is it. I'm gonna feel terrible really soon.
Yeah. Just do your immune system in and get it done and over. So to like stay up really late, drink, just lower it, like maybe run a lot. I don't know.
Run. Oh man, I went to the gym today too. So shoot, I'm already weakened. So weak. Oh, great. So, how was your week in fatherhood and gaming? Besides the current sickness, how was?
Yeah. Besides the current sickness, it was great. We went over to a friend's who has a pool. They have a pool. They had a pool party. It was
I
awesome.
believe you mean bestest of friends.
Best friends, yes. I love people that have pools. Thanks, friend. But no, they had a great pool party. It was awesome weather, super sunny and hot. So we spent all the day like probably 6 hours in that pool. So the kids were like, they might have shrunk a couple inches when they got out. Like,
Picked up like 10 pounds in waterlogging. Like,
yeah, they were in there all day, and we had a good time. So, and the best part was when they got home, they went straight to bed, not a peep out of them. So, my wife and I got to enjoy like just a movie on the TV without them trying to sneak downstairs and interrupt us. So it was good.
an actual movie.
Yeah, like a
Wow.
nice, well, an adult movie, not the adult, but something with swearing in it. Maybe a little, just action.
Were you like,
It was good.
were you on guard as soon as they swore? You're like, oh, ooh,
Yeah, well, you
earmuffs.
are. You are. You always keep your ear tuned to the stairs. You're like, oh no, I heard a creak in the stairs. They're coming down. But no, it was good. It was a good time. In terms of gaming, it'll just be Pokemon. I am addicted to it, so I haven't played anything else.
So, and it started. I mean, your kid is at least old enough that you can kind of pin it on him. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want to play this. It's just
right.
I gotta evolve for my kid.
Yeah.
So
But
I'm
when
a
I'm
good
out
dad.
there, by myself at night, it's a little different.
When it's 2 in the morning, the only
Yeah.
time when the servers aren't overloaded, I have to
Oh
try to
yeah.
explain myself.
Yeah, that's the other problem is that when the servers are overloaded, uh, I look at my PlayStation, I'm like, no, I don't want to play anything right now with substance. I just want to catch some Pokemon. What can you say?
So I toss around some Pokeballs and
Yeah.
get myself another Rattatat or
Yeah.
Rattata. How do you
Rattata. It's like
Rattata?
a frittata,
I was
but
gonna
like a
say like
rattata. I don't know. I'm not sure.
yeah
But
no man that thing's just phenomenal. The yeah I want us to get into a whole Pokemon discussion because it is gaming right now. The only thing going on with gaming is Pokemon Go, and man, it's so fantastic just as far as like the breadth that it covers. Like it's just kids, it's adults, it's incredible. So I want us to get into it. The only thing I want to cover from the previous week was my wife and I finished Firewatch.
nice.
Uh, it's fantastic, and I'm telling you, like that was the she stayed interested in it the whole time. Like we really enjoyed the experience. I'll say it was probably like it was a perfect first entry for us to try to play a game together,
Okay.
which I was worried about when I because I hadn't played it before, so I didn't know. And if it sucked, it's like so this is games.
Yeah. Yeah.
Games are still awful. Why did you try to bring me into this?
It's not a good first impression there.
Yeah, but it was great. I mean, a couple of the story mystery pieces started to fall, and we're both like, what is this? What's happening? What's going on? What's that? Let's move over there. And it's pretty quick game too. So I think it was like I think we didn't really putz around very much, so it was like a 6 hour investment, and yeah, we were invested. We had a great time with it. That was a great experience, and I think now if we I was to suggest something like a Telltale game or something of the similar vein, I think like kind of started on that path. I had hinted like maybe she would like Pokemon Go. It's bit of a tough sell, and
They're
then
kind of cute. You catch the cute ones.
what's
Oh, look at the little creature.
well, man, it's just like when Foursquare was much
Oh
more prominent,
wow, going way
bigger.
back.
Yeah. Oh, poor Foursquare. But when it was heavy into its location, like the check-in thing, with mirrors and
Yeah,
everything else, like I thought that was great. Like I really did enjoy it because it's so passive. You're waiting in line at a Tim Hortons or Starbucks. You might as well check in. And you see other people check in. Oh, I could become mayor. Anytime you're flying, it was really cool to check in at that airport after you've flown for like 6 8 hours
yeah,
and get it. So like that, the type of thing where it's like you're kind of stopped anyways, and you're out about in the world, and you get this like small little touch point to have interaction that also just includes other people without being full on like multiplayer. Like it's fantastic. So that man, Pokemon Go so perfectly seems to fill that. Like you're over in the park and you have to wait like 10 minutes because for somebody to come back, or like if Carolina and little guy go into a place, I'm stuck there for 5 minutes. Perfect.
yeah,
Time to just
yeah.
grab me some Pokemon. Let's get going. So yeah, but walk me through your week. How was your week? Because it's now officially launched in Canada.
Yeah. So that was a problem because when they finally did that,
so, so there's the first issue. It's official.
Yeah. See, I was a good, what, it was 7 days or something. It was a week or something ahead of schedule in the US and Canada launch, and the servers were toast. Like you couldn't get on when they launched for a good few hours. And I think some hacking group tried to attack them too. So that didn't help things. So I was kind of stuck. I was into my Pokemon. I was ready to go outside. We have been, I mentioned, we have been on more family walks like this past 2 days.
Like at the kids' insistence or your own
No,
insistence?
mine.
Good. I'm glad you're big enough to admit that.
Yeah,
Hey kids,
they're
you want to go for
into
another
it.
walk?
Yeah, they want to go out and catch it, but they're not so like they'll do whatever. Like if it gets them outside to a playground, they're game. But I'll be like, no, no, let's go a different route and see what Pokemon are down here.
Yeah, let's go. I saw some leaves fluttering on the map. Let's go down
Yeah,
these two streets we've never been before.
yeah. And like I said in the previous episode, I've never played a Pokemon game, so to have this thing kind of grab a hold of me, and then um, you treat creatures that you've seen as like a personal vendetta if you don't capture them. You're like, okay, I need to catch that squirrel because he got away with me. Like, I don't know where he's hiding, but I need to catch him. I saw him. He's not there. And the most it's such a successful launch for a game that has a lot of bugs. It does
Oh,
have a lot of
that's
bugs and a lot of server crashes. And whoa,
a wild Gavin appeared. Get him!
get
Throw
him!
the
A wild
Pokeball.
Gavin appeared.
I just crashed your party, boys.
Nice, dude. Jeez, it should be man at the top. We didn't even address your absence. We kind of just got so into it with like,
Yeah,
great, we could
well,
talk about Pokemon with reckless abandon because Gavin's not here.
He was here in spirit. He was waiting
I was
in the
waiting like a rare
bushes.
Pokemon.
Yeah,
Pokemon to
dear,
come out when you're all out of Pokeballs.
nice, dear Gavin, regale us with stories of. It should be mentioned. So Father Gavin has been fighting the good fight with sleep training this week. Wasn't sure if he was going to make it on. So, dear Gavin, how has sleep training with a little baby been going for you?
Actually, fine.
Really? Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, we're like, yeah, really, it all goes on. Like, Mama's the one who's been really doing it. Like, got a good schedule kind of together. We had a pretty solid bedtime routine, so she already knew really the only thing we were removing from the equation was bobbing her to sleep, and like rocking her to sleep and stuff. Um, so yeah, no, it's uh, one of the first nights it took about maybe 40 minutes. Last night it took about 10, and tonight it took about 5.
Nice. So,
So yeah,
so what's the method you're following with it?
uh, basically go through a regular bedtime routine. Then we lie her down. Then checking in on like different time intervals. So like every 2 minutes, and then every 5 minutes, and then every 10 minutes, or like I think there's a 7 minute one tucked in there too. So just sort of increasing the intervals of time going in and just kind of shush her and console her, lay her back down, get her snuggled with her favorite stuffy, and just sort of keep doing that until the time intervals space out enough, and then she just sort of drifts off on her own.
Nice. So,
Naps are still a little bit tough because she's not end of day tired yet, but kids are notorious for fighting naps, so I'm not too concerned about that. And I think the only real wrench in the works is that like our dog howls when she cries. So when like the last few nights, like I'll take him out for a big walk, and that gets him out of the house. So that way, as the baby's sort of crying it out. Although it hasn't been too bad, but still, it's just easier with the dog out of the picture because he makes a god awful sound. But yeah,
I like
no,
that.
it's
I like that the dog has empathy for the baby.
Yeah, like he's trying to help.
either that or he hates the sound and he's mad.
Shut up! But
Go
then
to
howling.
sleep.
Or he
Go
feels
to
like
sleep.
he's getting all the attention, so if he cries louder, but no, it's been going really well. Definitely have to it's going well because of the wonderful job Mama did. I was just running support. We did have a little bit of upset tummy with her one night, but I'm not sure if that was related to the stress of the sleeping or the sleep training, or whether it was just something else. Babies puke and a baby barf all the time. Um, but yeah, and that's about it. Oh, and to catch up on the whole like my week. Okay, so it's been baby training and stuff. We had an anniversary this week, which was great. We went out for a really really fancy dinner, which was fantastic. One of those dinners where you just you
Don't
you
look at the
know
price.
your wallet's going to get uppercutted at the end of the night, but it doesn't matter because it's just an experience and a half. We don't really do gifts. We just go out for one really awesome dinner at a really good restaurant that we like and we've been going to for years. It's the type of place where there's at least a couple dishes with foie gras, and every other dish probably has some truffle in there somewhere. One of those kind of jobs. Really really good spot though. And yes, we did that, and I beat Doom the other night, so that was
Oh,
fantastic.
that's
Everything with
wow.
that game is amazing, even the end credits. The end credits have this motion graphics sequence that I've never really seen before, and it's just like the end credits to like a movie where like you see all the characters coming back, and like kind of like the end credits to like a Marvel movie where they kind of recap all the awesomeness that you just experienced, and it makes you leave the theater feeling like, yeah, that was good. They did that for a video game, and it was so nice because like the weapon designer gets a shout out, and you see like all the weapons laid out on the floor, and they're like most pristine look. The animators get a shout out for like all those cool glory kill animations and stuff. It's just, yeah, it was a really good game. Solid boss battle at the end. Can't recommend it enough. It was really really fun. I loved it. I'm having trouble playing other games now because I went back into like and games I like. Like I went back to Fallout after, and I'm like, oh,
Considerably less demons, a few less
yeah,
glory kills.
And I feel fine comparing those two because they're both Bethesda. So Bethesda, you trumped yourself.
Oh, the
And
that's
during
that.
the dog walks, our park is littered with Pokemon Go players. So
I was gonna say while you're out walking the dog, that is
Oh.
ideal Pokemon Go time.
no,
You could be up to your eyeballs in Rattatas at this point.
Trevor,
So
I'm
many
a
Rattatas.
Pokemon no.
Oh, son of
No.
a. And then Gavin left the podcast.
Forever.
Yeah, that's the last we ever saw with a wonderful burn like that. Uh, yeah, no, we were just starting to get into it because Gavin. I don't know if you saw some of the hubbub around the launch party down at CN Tower, or the guy that jumped down on the subway track so he could catch a Pokemon.
I
That
didn't hear
happened.
that one. I saw the big hullabaloo at CN Tower and stuff, and I've been keeping up with all the crazy news, but it's kind of hard to keep up with the crazy news because there's just a tsunami of it. But I did not
Just
hear that a
constant.
man jumped down onto a subway track to catch probably like one of the sleepy one.
I hope it was worth it because if it was just like a
Better
rat.
be.
Like
It's,
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't understand because like with like as if like that like 1 meter of movement would have been the difference between catching this thing or not. Just sounds like I don't know. There's a
Wow.
photo of it and everything. He's definitely just looking down the tracks like with his phone out. I'm walking around and every time I see anybody standing on the street corner like looking at their phone, there's just some part of me that's like,
yeah.
are
Oh
you
yeah.
playing? Because there's this one woman. There's a very very active gym near my house, like just down, which is a shame. I'm just out of range, so I'd have to leave my house. Yeah, but it's swapping like every like 10 minutes. It's a different team,
Wow.
and this woman, she had to be like 60s, 70s, and she stops so specifically right near this gym, and she faces it where it is, and she pulls out her phone. She's holding it up like that, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
man, lady, are you playing? Are you doing this? Are you
Yeah.
playing? Are you in on this? Like, are you
I
a
saw a
Pokemaster?
mother daughter combo out tonight, and they're in their pajamas,
Ooh.
Aw,
just
that's
walking
cute.
down the street in their pajamas, playing Pokemon Go, right on Young Street, just
I think
like
that's one of
do
the.
not care. And they weren't clean pajamas. Like these were
Ah,
slept in.
Aw,
Like these
right.
were week old pajamas.
that's the. I think it's been one of the. I almost find it the bizarre how much negativity has been surrounding it too. Because
Yeah.
I understand if it's not your thing, fine. It's kind of, and it's always fun to poke a
Yeah.
couple jokes, a couple like barbs at the latest, greatest, most popular things, certainly.
Mhm.
But like, I mean, there's a I have so many people on my Facebook had posted something to the effect of like, "Oh, I got adult stuff to do. I can't play this game." And it's like,
Mhm.
sure, I guess. Are you gonna go watch Orange Is the New Black? Like, is that you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the same type of folk who would post like, "I love this show and I've watched the entire thing or I binged on it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, is that adult? Like that's what's so adult that you can't just let some people have some fun or enjoy
Yeah.
it?
It's not like they're out like cleaning laundry at the riverside by hand. Like you know, it's not like you're not doing it because you have more chores than all these Pokemon players. Like you, if it's not your cup of tea, then that's fine. Like my one friend made a really valid argument because he's a big Trekkie, and he was like, I could make fun of all these people like in their mid 30s going out and playing this child's game, blah 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 blah. But I have three Starfleet uniforms in my closet, so like I'm in no position to ridicule. And that's the thing is like we all have that thing. The one thing that I like my only kind of the only absurdity I see in it is not the age thing or it's like oh you got better things to do. It's the people who are like so like they can't compartmentalize their brain enough to understand that it's just an activity. You know, don't drive your car into a cop car. Don't go onto the subway tracks. You know, don't walk into a highway. Like, don't try not to walk into a post. Like, I know a guy who almost tripped on a homeless person going down a dark alley to hunt a Pokemon. Like, it's these. That's the time where I'm like, okay, now you've kind of gotten a little too invested in this. Like, you might want to step back. It's not that you can't be playing it, but like especially the adult players out there, it's like, okay, if you want to play it, play it. Yeah, that's fine, but you can't. You're not supposed to also check your common sense and like adult logic centers at the door to play it. Like you can still maintain those survival skills, like avoiding danger, and enjoy this game. They're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, I think I chalk some of that up just to some foolishness and some silliness. Interesting enough, like Toronto, I don't know if similar things exist in other cities, but Toronto had snuck in a new law where you can't be checking like texting on your phone as you cross the street. Like that's actually a
Yeah.
fine you can get now.
Really?
Yeah, like they snuck it in
Wow.
on the attached
I
to
heard
another
that it
bill.
didn't make it past though.
That one didn't get through. Okay,
No.
because otherwise, like I'm just like thinking now, Pokemon Go would be such a boon for the city coffers.
Yeah.
Just thousands of dollars like rolling in. But I think some of it I chalk up to yeah, like just foolishness and silliness, and
Yeah.
you know, to some regard, I think even texting, you'll see that same type of thing.
Oh yeah.
I'd agree with you though with the concept of like the adult driving around in his car
Yeah.
to zip around to all the different stops and like take that really seriously. I think in some ways that kind of is not in the spirit
Yeah.
of the game necessarily. Like that's a bit. And the velocity. I'm curious, like what's the target of that velocity? Like, because you're gonna just wreck things. Like, it's gonna be incredible. Your
Hmm.
Pokemon are gonna be so powerful. Why? Like, for what? Like, what? Where are you getting? You know? Like, I think this might be one of the things where it's part like some of the fun's the journey too. Like, there's not really a
Yeah.
destination here.
Yeah. It's just a new form of cheating, really.
Yeah.
It is, and people have found ways to cheat, right?
Yeah,
Like
they're
even
using like drones and
yeah,
IP hacking and
Drones?
trains.
They're
Yeah,
flying
yeah.
them around?
yeah.
That's amazing.
Actually, there's a Kickstarter program called the Poke Drone or something like that, and it's so you can like you basically it syncs with your device over a Bluetooth connection, and so it has like a limited range, but like yeah, it's webcam on like a quadcopter drone, fairly compact, like maybe about yay big. And yeah, like they showed a demo where like somebody used it to. It basically just overwrites the camera on your phone, so you still just play the game on your phone like you would, but it's also like you have like a, a controller attached to your phone that controls the drone, so you can like flick and catch. like water Pokemon in the middle of a lake.
Perfect. I
That's
Yeah,
need some.
finally.
I need that type.
Yeah, so like there's and it's actually like it's colored to look really fun and playful and toy-like, and it's just like, oh wow, this is a thing. This is really a thing that people are gonna get. But it's like, where you're gonna like catch Pokemon on like a neighbor's balcony? Like, why do you need this thing?
in a
Probably.
in a neighbor's house. It would be even better.
I
It's
love
like da,
the
da, da,
people.
da, da,
Oh
I love the whole. There's like this one little girl who decided to like set up a lemonade stand because her.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like she had like the three different teams, and they had like all of her beverages and snacks were color coordinated to the teams, and I bet she made a killing. Like that little girl's gonna be like a business executive easily.
Yeah.
Supply and demand.
How do I
It's like,
capitalize?
yeah,
yeah, the
nothing works up a thirst and a hunger for Doritos like Pokemon Go.
yeah, but I still think like I mean the mention of the pajama party that you saw, and just even
Hmm.
the fact that Jeff is taking his kids with it, and I'm just noticing a lot of people in groups, like like
Yeah,
groups of anywhere from two. Like I saw, it's kind of cute when you see a couple, like
yeah.
clearly kind of like a younger couple,
I've
and they
seen
both
a
got their
lot of them.
phone. That like that's darling. But then
Yeah.
there's groups of like 6 to 8 like folks just kind of zipping around, and then they run off to the next one. There's obviously like the family angle of it. Like it's kind of wonderful. Like that's kind
Yeah.
of nice. Like and it's all
No,
kind of based on a really cute, like simple, fun mechanic that like I'm greatly enjoying. I'm having a great time with it.
what's hilarious though is like a few years back, I think it was in like 2011 or something, there was a Ghostbusters augmented reality app, which was essentially the exact same thing.
Oh,
It was geolocation, and you would go to these different like geotag spots, and there were ghosts that you could catch,
Hmm.
and you could compare your ghost collection to your friends, and that was it. It was just you're hunting ghosts, but because the property wasn't as like it had a big fan base, but there's something about Pokemon I think that just has that uh, appetite to it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
not sure. It's
I
also
think
Nintendo just being Nintendo.
I think it's part of the battle thing too, though, because even like catching him and then hey, look what I found
Yeah,
has some interest to it. But the thought that you can also then take these and evolve them, battle them. There's gyms. You're part of
yeah.
a team.
It's the best dogfighting simulator around.
Oh, that's
That's all it is.
that's
You take your beloved pet and you fight it against somebody else's beloved pet to crush somebody's soul. That's all it is.
well,
That
it's ruined
12-year-old's
now.
gonna get it. Yeah.
You're welcome, kids.
Yay. Ruined, dreams crushed.
Yep.
Everything.
Yeah.
You just
What
killed somebody's precious spot,
oh, but
murdering
that's
hope.
I find it interesting too. Like I didn't know that how many. I'm curious to know how they've gotten all this data because especially near my hood there's parts of there's graffiti that apparently has names to it that has recognizable symbols. Like there's this one rose that has like an eyeball in it. It's called like the Watchful Rose. There's one down the street called like Stop Walmart. It's this graffiti on a garage in a back alleyway, but it's named and in fact like that particular piece had been put up as protest to a Walmart opening nearby. So it's on
Yeah. Yeah.
point. So it's just like where's that data? Like who the heck
It was from
named?
their previous game. They had a previous game called Ingress,
So is
and
it people have inputted these
yeah,
spots? So that's a
places of
human.
interest.
Okay.
So
So if you go to a small town that never really
yeah,
experienced
you're
Ingress,
out.
it'd
You're
be
out of
nothing.
luck. You're out of
Wasn't
luck.
They don't do
wasn't
some
that one like
randos.
some sort of like hidden alien threat game or something like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
And
so that's the architecture for Pokemon
yeah.
Go?
Yeah,
That's
it's
hilarious.
overlaid with that data. So, and I guess that was
Hilarious.
pretty big. So,
Yeah, it's quite popular. I was
yeah,
shocked that
yeah,
it didn't take off, but it did. It just
yeah.
molted its skin and grew feathers.
That was one of the that was one of the cheats because you could use
Their
Ingress to
map.
figure out. Yeah, you could figure out
Yeah.
on their map where some rare things would like show up.
And I think the creatures pop up with like cell phone traffic or something. Like it knows
Yeah.
certain like hotspots, so you'll get more creatures around where more cell phone signals are kind of
And I
happening.
think they
So,
also test too. It's like what percentage of those signals are currently stocked with Pokeballs and which ones aren't.
Yeah.
and then to help trigger an impulse buy, it determines whether or not the one they're going to spawn is rare.
Yeah.
If you imagine you have a huge group of people, and then let's say 60% of them are short on Pokeballs, and then you're like, all right, let's spawn a rare one. What amount of that 60% will just impulse buy the microtransaction right there and then to catch that one?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I would not be surprised if that's what determines. It's almost like you could lure out the rare ones by just making sure that like you and a big group of friends show up at a location and make sure
Yeah.
that you create a high percentage of no Pokeballs. And you're like, okay,
Man,
And it
we're gonna have
is
to
that a
pay.
Nintendo move though? Is Nintendo that devious? Now that's
Yeah. Well, it's not super
mm,
devious. Like it's just how microtransactions are. They base off of impulse, and it's like
Yeah,
if you
but I mean,
don't have much.
putting a rare one only near people who don't have
Well, not
any.
necessarily only, but like the likelihood is higher.
Yeah, I would like to think about in this dogfighting simulator that the that Nintendo wouldn't stoop to that level because I don't know. That seems very unfamily
but
ish.
to pair with that point, there's no tutorial in the game. So I've read up on people that have gone to Pokestops to try and get, Pokeballs, but they didn't know how to activate it because you have to spin it.
Well, that took me a while. Yeah.
So they just bought them. So one guy
Oh,
asked him like, "Well, you can't be that far then. You're, given 15 to start or whatever." He's like, "No, I'm like level 8 and I've bought like maybe 60, 70 balls." So maybe that's working in their favor too. They don't have any tutorials.
Yeah.
People will go into the in-app purchases, start purchasing, thinking that that's part of it, and just
It's like when a fast food joint hides the extra value menu.
yeah, they're just like, all right, 99 cents, whatever, I'll do it.
yeah. The first three or four, I tried to like tap on them. I guess like, oh, I guess you don't get anything. Like maybe it only spawns. And then one, it actually the server glitched, and it's like, oh, come back later. And I noticed you could spin it. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of fun. And then next time I actually got to one, I spun it. I'm like, hey, there's stuff. Oh my goodness,
I spent out the stuff. Get the stuff here.
there's things for free. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it's I don't I gotta say like it meshes really well with the kid and the dog because like I tend to be outside all the time now. Like I walk him to daycare. I have to walk the dog. Today, despite being sick, he was on a uptick, so we took him to the park, and it's just like I'm out all the time. And then you have to stop at a stoplight. Now you have this 20-25 seconds of wait time. It's like, all right, let's
Yeah.
Lord forbid you spend those with your thoughts.
No,
those are
I don't want to think. I want people to do that for me. Come on.
my brain's a jerk, and I have to spend every waking moment with them. So these are mini vacations, damn it. So yeah, so just strolling about, and man, I like the thought that like stores have been putting the lures.
Yeah.
So for the stops, for anyone who doesn't know, you can put a particular lure on it, and everybody in the world gets to see the lure, and it brings in more Pokemon and ideally more rare ones. Apparently, stores have glommed onto this, so like if there's a stop in their store, they'll put a lure. So like they'll
Yeah.
bring in all these kids and everyone else to say like, hey, like coming by, we got some great Pokemon over here.
Well, it even happens with like food service establishments. I know my one friend, him and his wife were out for a poke walk, and they decided to,
Just not the name.
That was great.
and they stopped at this one pub because they had a lure, and they sat on the patio and had a couple beer, knowing that they can sit and enjoy a beer, and the lure is out, and they just let the Pokemon come to them.
Yeah.
See,
They
but
they
that's
they
that.
sipped on their poke beer and they loved it, and they just enjoyed their night.
They had a poke time, and they
Poka poka.
Poke, poke, poke. Oh, Home Alone.
Yep.
geez, one of the
Have you boys been playing anything else?
the
No.
well, we what you had missed is I'd mentioned to Jeff at the top that I'd finished Firewatch with my wife.
Oh, nice.
First time we've ever played a game, and that one was pitch perfect. That was an
That's
excellent
good.
first game for a.
I will be sure to try that out with my wife. I think that she would enjoy that one as well, as far as just like exploring a narrative together and unraveling it because I know
Oh
she
man.
really likes watching games with really good stories, but especially with this one, like being able to choose responses together.
Yeah, be ready though,
Like
because you have a time limit on when you can respond. I blew the first couple because I didn't respond in
I just
time, so it's like,
waited
damn
it
it.
out.
Yeah. Well, I thought at Mass Effect style, I thought I had like infinite awkward
Yeah.
staring time to consider my choices. Like, no,
Yeah.
you got to get in there.
I like that though. Like I think I've mentioned Alpha Protocol in the past too, and they literally had a bar at the bottom, like, oh, you gotta
Yeah.
finish this up. I really think that adds a certain pacing to the conversation and a certain amount of stress that public speaking provides. And it's like, I gotta say something clever, and I got like so much time to think of it before it's not clever anymore, and I just look contrived. And yeah, it's a cool thing. So yeah, I'm happy to hear that you two finished it start to finish. That's great.
Yeah,
That's
for first time ever. So, and I think it.
congratulations. That's
Congrats, nice.
a stamp on the wall there.
And that's how our second baby was made.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
It's like, what's my name? Firewatch. Well, well, little Debbie, we have a story for you. The no, but I think it's great because I think it opens the avenue. This was a great experience. So that means in future similar experiences, I think we can both get into. So I'm not that very excited about that. I was really happy that kind of worked
I
as well
dare
as
you
it
to
did.
convince her to play Until Dawn.
oh yeah, you should do that.
Is that like a story heavy
Yeah,
thing?
Yeah,
it is.
it's
Yeah, for
basically
sure.
like it's a narrative choices kind of game, but it's like a slasher movie where you're trying to keep
Oh,
all
don't
the
say that.
teenagers alive.
Yes. Probably better if you didn't say that.
No,
Well, I
you
will
should be
say
like,
that
oh
to
yeah, it's
her. We'll see
great.
what happens.
It's
But
like
yeah,
playing
no, the
lollipop.
work's on him to convince her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll give that
I
a
think I
shot.
recall us watching like Tucker and Dale versus Evil at your place, so
That's true.
That was a good
I think
movie.
she'll be
That was a
fine.
good
Which,
movie.
yeah, anyone listening to the show, you should check out that movie. That was
Yeah,
fantastic.
that was underrated. That was a good movie. Um, yeah.
Yeah, but
Jeff, have you just been playing Pokemon?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Basically, I go out for a
Same on
walk, come back, and that's it.
There you go.
I go to bed.
What I just recently cracked into Helldivers.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
that's
okay.
okay.
it's from Arrowhead Studios, I believe, and they're the team behind Magica. It's fun. It's like Starship Troopers, very much like it's Starship Troopers.
It is.
It's just it doesn't have
Big
license,
bugs.
but it was fun. But the only issue I'm having with it right now is that it's not great single player. You
No.
can tell it was made for a group. So until I get a group of people together and the time to do it, I'll just play a mission here and there and stuff. But it has some really cool mechanics in it. But it's definitely like you need at least another person to watch your back when like you're calling in air support and stuff. Like doing it all yourself. But like realistically, I kind of knew that going in. Like even if it's going to be Starship Troopers a game, anybody who was alone in that movie was dead.
Yeah.
Dead. They were dead. And
Well,
like even in the novel, like if you try to go it alone, you're probably dead. So yeah, that's fine.
I've played it with four friends.
Yeah,
So, or well, three other friends. It's there's friendly fire, so it's
yeah.
Oh, no.
chaos.
Oh,
Like it is
no.
nuts.
There's
And
even
like
friendly fire with the turrets.
yeah, so
Like
everything
if
that
they
you
go
plant,
prone.
yep, can
Yeah,
kill. And there's like mech warrior type suits, and you just crush your friends accidentally because the turn radius is like awkward. It has to step right to get around, so you don't mean to, but you'll squish one of your buddies, and you're like, what the? And they come in on
for PS4.
yeah, yeah. So
Okay,
when you
all right.
respawn and stuff, you come in like a capsule. And
Yep.
if you don't aim it correctly and it does not hit where you put it exactly, you could just get killed by your brother coming in. Just you're like, dude, take me out by your
That's hilarious.
respawn. That sucks.
Yeah, that's
But yeah.
a. Geez, I don't know. That's a tough. It's always a tough call because it's on the one side it's hilarious, like the results, killing your own friends, killing that, like
Yeah.
landing, like spawning and landing and killing your co-player
I've
is
seen
hilarious.
videos
But
where
it's
like a dropship crushed an entire team. Like the
Yes.
whole squad got crushed with a dropship.
Yeah, and that's the end. Yeah, that happened. You're like, ugh.
We're so close. We just gotta wait for the dropship to arrive, and we're gonna get safe and sound. It's gonna be crunch. No.
Yeah.
I think the only one I can mention is I'm still going on Overwatch, still having a great time with that. I was actually prompted to buy a gaming mouse because I was finding
Whoa,
I
big
was finding
time, big
yeah,
time.
on my way to being pro over here because my fingers were so feeble in hitting the keys to like get all the various um I could not keep good movement and also hit the key to do like whatever special was. Like I was finding it way too awkward. So like now that the mouse has a few extra buttons, like that's been fantastic. But
You need to get one of those. Have you seen those things for like your left hand if you're a righty, where it's like a keyboard hunk? It's like just like this. It's basically just
oh
like a
yeah,
hotkey peripheral.
Power glove.
Um, is that what it's called?
I don't know. It'd be cool if it was the power glove from.
No, no. It's but yeah, it's basically like a little mini. It's almost like the numpad,
Yeah.
but separate from your keyboard, and it's just remappable hotkeys. And apparently those are really fun. And what's funny is that a friend of mine who's also an illustrator, he uses it and maps it for his hotkeys for like his Adobe software.
Oh,
wow.
really?
For
So
work
it's
no
like he
less.
has this little like mini keyboard thing. He's like with his one hand, and he's got his stylus with the other hand, and it's really really cool. This is how we art, people. This is how we professionally art all the time. This is it. This is the
See,
magic right here.
Minority Report. You're just
give that man your money. Look
Yeah.
at him go.
Look at him go. Look at him art away there. My goodness.
It's a perfect excuse. Look, it's this isn't about gaming. This is a work piece. I need this work peripheral.
Yeah.
Maybe it plays
Totally.
games too. I don't know,
Yeah.
but key
I've,
number
I've been
one is
slowly trying to convince my accountant that video games that I buy are market research. Being in game
yeah,
development and
yeah.
whatnot.
Why not?
Yeah,
it's not your accountant you have to worry about. It's the tax man. That's 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 the
that's
real
true.
accountant. You can pay him enough to just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But it's when they decide to do the audit that's when you gotta worry
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, yeah. Here's a
Uh,
stack of receipts for chicken bones. Can I write them off? Whatever you want to do, man. It's your money.
I'm not going to jail. Sure, whatever.
Yeah. They're not going to size me up for the orange jumpsuit. It's up to you.
Nice. Oh, everybody. Now, the Gavin, did you happen to have a beer pick for the week?
No, because I wasn't entirely sure if I was like, I had kind of reserved the idea that maybe I might not make it in this week. So I've been drinking Railside. I think I've had it earlier in the podcasts.
I bet you
It's
did.
Lehman's Session Ale. It's good.
Still good.
It's still good. It's still good. Just a
Now,
little
so
hoppy. It's still good.
now you
Uh,
had sent a message out to the other dads here that
oh
Side
wait,
Launch was
sorry.
back in store.
Yeah, yeah, at our location. I forgot to get one. But a side note, my wife bought me a Guinness Blonde,
Oh,
which is basically like their American lager style, which is basically them trying to market Harp to North America. Either way, delicious. It was really, really good.
Wow,
It was
really?
fun.
I wouldn't
I
have.
like it.
surprising.
Yeah. Well,
I
like,
would not
like
have. I've seen it, but it's just I could not imagine it. Like Guinness doing anything but the black tar that they do.
well, yeah,
Delicious tar.
delicious tar.
Delicious tar. I
Uh,
like it. I like it. So
no, because like Harp lager is like it's brewed by the company like within the umbrella. Um, and yeah, so yeah, no, the Guinness Blonde was refreshing. It was tasty. Um, it's not even in the same realm as Guinness, but that's because Guinness is a different animal and a delicious one at that. But no, Guinness Blonde was very, very satisfying. Wife took the risk for me, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And yeah, I would. Yeah, I didn't drink it this evening, but that would be my suggestion for this week is try a can of the Guinness Blonde.
it's good to know because yeah, I would not have thought to try it, but I might have to now
I'm
because
a
I do
I'm a
so
Guinness
enjoy my
purist.
Guinness.
I'm a very much a Guinness purist, and I thought, why not? Let's give it a go, and it was good. So, but then
Yeah,
again, like that brewery's always had good quality control, and it seems a little weird, but like, yeah, it's worth a shot, and it's refreshing. I saw you drinking something nice and amber, or
yeah.
it's gone now, but
Yeah, finished it up. In fact, so this one I've been trying to get my hands on for a while. A friend and colleague had been telling me about it for ages and just could not. Classically, again, just could not find it anyplace. So this thing is called Triple Bogey. So I'll show that for the folks who are looking at our wonderful faces. Triple Bogey. The if it's, and I think this is their only one because it's actually called like Triple Bogey Brewing Co. Apparently in Toronto, which I didn't. That part I didn't know when I was searching it, so I could have gone to their website or, like heaven forbid, perhaps they're selling it at the actual brewery. Uh, this is delicious. This was fantastic. Like it's a lager, so it's kind of your straight and basic type of beer, but it's so smooth yet has such subtle flavor to it in a very great way. So it's not trying to tell some amazing story with crazy flavors. Like it's not like maple or like grapefruit or like it's not trying to go over the top, and yet it achieves such a great flavor profile, all the while still remaining fresh and like super smooth. I imagine a good part of it, if unless it's completely disconnected, which I have a hard time believing. Like triple bogey, like as in the golf term, like they got golf all over the can and the design of it. So I think in many ways it's built for golfing, and that would be a perfect beer for golfing. Just like
For the Open,
refreshing. For
isn't
what?
the Open? Isn't the RBC Canadian Open this weekend or next? So
Oh, I wonder if it'll be there.
perfect.
But this would be an ideal one for it. So it's like I said, flavorful, smooth, like just a fantastic beer. Triple Bogey from Triple Bogey Brewing Co. Toronto based, no less.
If it had came out a few years ago, I probably would have been sweeping it out of golf carts
Yes.
at my old teenager job.
You would have been sick of the smell by now.
Yeah. Oh, the number of cans I had to power wash out of the back of a golf cart. You'd be shocked. Those things. It's like don't drink and drive unless you're in a golf cart, and then whatever.
The
Yeah.
power to you.
They don't care.
Uh,
Oh.
so Jeff, as I understand it, unfortunately, you could not succeed in your dad challenge of drinking a side launch.
No, it's nowhere. It's nowhere to be found now. I could not find it.
There was a
It-
crate
yeah, it
at
But
my.
that's the one. That's the one crate in Ontario, I think,
It
because
used
it's
to
in
be
none of them.
Oh,
everywhere.
I should have got one.
I saw it every grocery trip. It was always in the fridge. At LCBO, saw it everywhere because it's really distinctive yellow can, right, with the
Yeah,
big
it's hard to
black
miss.
lettering. So yeah, I didn't get that. And this week I'm kind of under the weather, so a lot of water and vitamin powder.
It's delicious.
Taste makes you
Hopefully
feel,
mixed into water, but
yeah, just straight,
just straight powder. Like,
like one of those old the candy pops where you.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, it was great.
oh, that's
With the powder, you just stick the little stick in there. Done.
Yeah. The kids in my school
Someday.
yard weren't as well off, so it was usually just a packet of Jello powder and a finger.
Okay.
JLL no. Oh, God.
And then there was always that one kid who'd bring, like, he'd think he was just like, oh, it's the same stuff. So he'd bring Kool-Aid,
Oh no, yeah.
unsweetened. See if all these
Oh.
kids just like, they just dip their finger in the packet of Kool-Aid and just like make this horrible, gross, red tooth stain face.
And ruin their life a
they
little
just
bit.
had like sour cherry powder with zero sugar in it. Like, you make that mistake once.
Now, Jeff, you had mentioned you did try a side launch.
Yeah, I tried their dark lager,
Ooh.
which is not bad. That one I don't mind. It's kind of got a little tail end to it when you drink it. It's pretty good. I was scared to drink it because of my notes from the other side launch that I had previously reviewed, but no, it's not bad. So that's another one for the books.
There you
I
go.
might do that one, but we'll try the yellow, the wheat one, the wheat version. This is the dark lager, so the wheat one scares me.
Yeah, well, if any of us find it, we'll have to buy one and ship it to you.
Yeah.
Figure some way to get it out there. It's just, you can't avoid it next week.
I'm gonna go to mine, and it's probably still gonna be in stock, and I'm gonna buy 3, and I'm gonna drink all 3 at once.
One can at a time.
Just
Be
just
perfect.
pure gluttony.
It's not even good though. You just pour it out. You're like, yeah.
I take like one sip, and then the rest of the podcast is me just pouring it in the toilet.
I care not for this beer anymore. Hef.
Away.
It's all downhill after the first sip.
Yeah.
A full can is for peasants.
Yeah.
Only the first sip shall touch my lips.
I refuse to drink backwash, even if it's my own.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Gents, I think we shall wrap it up then again for this week. Gavin, thanks for the surprise drop in. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Wild Gavin appeared.
Yep.
Although
Hey,
it's because
catching me and your Pokeballs.
we'll see. just wait till I'm a master, and we'll find out what happens. So, everyone, thank you once again for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. We do this podcast weekly. If you have any show suggestions, questions, or anything else you'd like to send our way, you can visit us on our website at newdadgaming.com. The podcast shows up on iTunes and all other fine podcast services. Download, rank, and subscribe. Tell a friend. And again, can't thank you enough for listening. Until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 1-year-old.
My name is Gavin. I have an 11-month-old.
I'm Jeff. I'm going to go to bed.
It's like, there's kids around, I'm sure. I can't count. I'm seeing triple, so here's a bunch.
My wife assures me they're still here.
Yeah, there's here somewhere.
Best part is like I know you're lying. You're going outside to play some Pokemon Go.
Probably
It's just
do around if the servers are up, and then I'll go to bed.
quick walk, just a quick walk. A couple more, baby.
That's
I'll
all
go
I
to
need.
bed.
I need one. I need that
Going out
Squirtle.
for brisk walks in the cool of night. Oh, I'm sick.
Get out of here with your logic.
That has no place on this podcast. Great, Joan. We'll see you next week.
Bye.